What's up guys, it's me Eric B and welcome back to the channel. And we're back at Fort Campbell Auto Sales doing another first ride on this 2022 Aprilia Tuono V4. Now I've already done a first ride on the factory version of this bike, and it's a little bit different, not a whole lot in terms of power or anything like that, but on this model you do get the windscreen on it. The front end is a little bit different, and the other thing is the suspension. So you get sacks in the rear. Not real sure what the front is, but on the factory model you do get the electronic O-lean suspension. So you do get a stabilizer or dampener up front there. If you guys can see it, it's right up under there. The screen is a little bit different on this model and the factory that I noticed, and I'm really digging this silver color. Looks really good. Now there are a few little imperfections here and there that still need to be fixed on this bike before it's sold, but I was telling them, hey man, I really want to get this bike out and test it. I really like the way that the SE Project and everything sounds, and I kind of wanted to compare it between this and the factory model. As you can see here, we do get the Brembo brakes there up front. Those looks just like the ones that are on my DUCATI Panigale 1199. Yeah, we do have a little bit of scuffs on the exhaust and everything, and the brake handle is broken, but that's not a huge deal. Like I said, they are going to repair some parts on here and stuff like that before it goes out. I just wanted to get a first ride done on this beautiful bike. All right, so without further ado guys, let's go on ahead and get this thing out on the road. And before we do that, as always, let's cut to the B-roll. All right, let's give you guys a nice little start up here. That beautiful TFT display. Man, that thing looks so good. All right. Oh my gosh. Sounds so good. Like I said before, man, I think Aprilia has the best sounding leader bikes out of all the bunch out there. Like I said before, everyone says the R1 sounds really good, which it does, but the Aprilia takes the cake, man. I like the way these daytime running lights look on here. All right. Goodness, man. Love the way this bike sounds. Oh my goodness. I am definitely starting to fall in love again with naked bikes, that's for sure. After riding the BMW S1000R, the Tuono V4 factory, and now this one, whew, if I was to get one, it is a real tough decision to try to figure out which one I'd want. Alright, on this bike you do still retain the quick shifter and the auto blip, which is pretty smooth. It's not too bad. Alright, so we have a beautiful color TFT display on here. Aprilia does have some nice looking displays. This one does look a little different from my RS660 and the 1100 factory that I test rode as well. Nice big bunch of information on there. Man, somebody already topped this thing out at 180. But yeah, gear indicator, you know, your speed, you got your fuel gauge, which is always nice to have. And then this does have power modes and everything. Right now we're going to leave it in sport just like it is. And you know, you're able to adjust, you know, between your engine braking, your wheelie control, traction control, stuff like that. And this bike does have cruise control as well, another great feature. Alright, so I can't remember if I mentioned it, but besides the exhaust done to this bike, It does have a tail tidy on it, or a fender eliminator from New Rage Cycles. Looks pretty good on the bike. I do not know if this has been tuned or anything like that, but we'll open up a little bit here once we get around the turn. And we're a little low on gas, we're not going to get too crazy with it. We do have some Pirelli tires on here, some Rosso 4s. Bike feels really nice. And we do have some bar and mirrors on here this time, so we don't have to worry about our mirrors folding in. Alright, so how does this windscreen work or help from, you know, some of the other nakeds? It does redirect the air a little bit better. I'm feeling it more right at my neck and my chin. Still a little bit in my chest, but not as much as something like the S1000R that I rode, or the factory version of this model. So if you're concerned about, you know, a lot of wind hitting you and you do want some protection, I think this windscreen does pretty good. It's a decent size. Comfort wise, the seat actually feels really good. It doesn't feel too hard or anything. And on this bike, I feel that I can, you know, tuck down a little bit and scoot back. I feel like I actually have enough room. Whenever I ride an RS4, I always felt that I didn't have enough room. I felt really crammed. With me being a taller guy, I wasn't really able to scoot my butt back and scoot forward when I tuck down. This bike does come in at about 460 pounds, so it's a little on the heavy side, but it still feels really great out on the road. And power-wise, we're putting down 175 horsepower and 89 pound-feet of torque, just like the factory model. Like I said before, the big difference is the O-Lean suspension. I don't know, man. Let me know down in the comments. What do you guys think? What's your favorite sounding leader bike? Is it the R1? Is it the RSV4 or the Tuono or anything like that? Or is it your traditional inline fours? You know, like a you know, a GSXR or a S1000 or something like that. Again, like I said before, most of your European bikes, you do get a hydraulic clutch. This one is cable, so it's a little different with Aprilia. Oh, that exhaust, man. These guys are always in my way. Oh yeah. This thing is a hooligan, man. Oh my gosh, that sound is so freaking like exhilarating. The power band on here, it's I don't know, in my opinion, it's pretty linear and smooth as it comes up through the RPM. Maybe a little bit different for someone else that owns this bike. But yeah, like I said before, man, you cannot go wrong with these newer nakeds, whether it's a Monster, the Street Fighter, this, the S1000R. Like, I don't know, it's hard to figure out which one you want to get, man, because they're all so good. Some more on the ergos. If you are a shorter rider, I don't know, in my opinion, this sits a little tall. Because I know whenever I come to a stop and I put my feet down, I feel like I'm almost tiptoeing, but then I can flat foot. So I think it might be because the seat is a little wide. But other than that, shouldn't be too much of a problem. Tank feels really nicely. I like how it contours your thighs. Aprilia does that really nicely, especially on their RSV4 and the RS660. You're able to just tuck your thighs right up under it. Really love that. And yeah, man, just things that I don't like about this bike, there really isn't a whole lot, man. It's really hard to nitpick and find something negative about a bike that's pretty good and pretty popular. Can't really complain, man. It's got a beautiful display, the bike looks good, it sounds good, it rides well, the quick shifter's nice. I don't know, decent brakes. It's really hard to find something negative. And this thing will wheelie on you too, man. It's a wheelie monster. It's got a lot of torque. Handlebars feel really good. I know for some people that have a shorter reach, they say sometimes you kind of are hunched over a little bit because you have to reach further for the bars. But for me, I have a long reach and everything, and I am 6'1" in height, so it feels fine to me. I don't have to really reach or anything for it, so it feels really comfortable. Well, you know I'm gonna do it. Man, I am really glad I get to test ride these bikes and see the characteristics and how they perform and things like that, because I may be one day in the market for a naked bike, and between the S1000R and the Tuono, it's a tough decision, man. And I know some of you out there are looking at some of these bikes. You're probably in the same boat as me. You know, you're looking at the Triumphs, the MT10s, especially if you're looking at something like this that's like a leader bike in a naked form. You know, Aprilia, BMW, Yamaha, Triumph. There's so many of them out there. The Ducati. I tell you what, you can't go wrong with this one, man. You cannot at all. So we covered the horsepower, really no different from the factory. Some of the characteristics and features on this bike. Like I said before, the ergonomics and the comfort and everything on here, really nice. I cannot say anything negative about that at all. I will probably say I like the looks of this one better than the factory, only because of the front end. I'm not a huge fan of the front end of the factory. Some people may think different, but yeah, that's just my opinion on that one. All right, guys, so that's gonna do it for me. I hope you enjoyed it. Nice little quick down and dirty of the Aprilia Tuono V4. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, because we will have some more first ride videos coming on various bikes, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.